Allow myself to introduce myself.
In 1997, New Line Cinema released a comedic masterpiece written by and starring SNL royalty Mike Myers. No, not Michael Myers, Mike Myers. You might remember him from such films as Wayne's World, The Cat and... Oh, Jesus Christ. This was a kid's movie? And, of course... But we'll get to that another time. Austin Powers, International Man of Mystery, was directed by Jay Roach, who also directed Meet the Parents and served as lead producer for Borat. This, however, may be his crowning achievement. An absolutely flawless production of comedic directing, back when movies knew how to use the camera to enhance jokes and spotlight sight gags rather than simply get coverage of the actors like a tired television procedural. Austin Powers was a clear parody of the James Bond series, as well as 60s spy spoofs like In Like Flint.
Hey, In Like Flint, that's my favorite movie.
This, however, was all 90s, filled with memorable lines and enduring characters, brilliant choreography, and an iconic theme song written by the one and only Quincy Jones. This is parody done to perfection. This is comedy at its finest. This is Austin Powers. What's up, beautiful people? I'm Zach, and you're watching Zach Makes Movies. What's up, beautiful people? I'm Zach, and you're watching Zach Makes Movies, the channel where we talk about...
You guessed it, Frank Stallone.
Over the last few weeks, we've talked about the other Michael Myers. And we've talked about the other movie that made one word incredibly famous.
Groovy.
But today, I want to talk about one of my favorite comedies of all time. Austin Powers, International Man of Mystery. This movie helped shape my sense of humor, my taste in women, and my sense of style. Mike Myers proved his genius on Saturday Night Live, and then he branched out into the film world, where he stole Dana Carvey's Lorne Michaels impression.
The rumor was when he went off to do Austin Powers, you were a little pissed off because it was your impression of Lorne Michaels. That was sort of your take on Lorne.
Well, yeah, I did do it spastically. When I first got on SNL, no one I knew was doing him. And my first hook into Lorne, because usually it's one phrase,
right,
was Lorne saying, I still have no fucking first act. And then, when I saw Mike do it, I did kind of go, but, it's a long time ago.
Did you ever say to Mike, hey, that is sort of my impression of Lorne?
I'm in therapy now.
And turned it into one of the most famous film characters of the 20th century.
$100 billion.
I decided to make this video mere hours before the news of the tragic passing of the great Quincy Jones. When I was in film school, we were working out of 3 different buildings, and one of the buildings shared space with a couple of other film and production companies. Every single day, I would walk past a door with 2 words on the front. Quincy Jones. I never got to see him, I never got to meet him, but man, was that cool. But I don't want to start this episode with a somber note, so let's jump into the comedy.
Move, move.
One of the things that modern comedy films have forgotten, the very few that actually exist, is the importance of the gag. You can't simply have funny dialogue. You can't simply have characters saying wacky things that they shouldn't be saying. You need to have jokes. And if you want all of your jokes to come out in the form of words, be a stand-up comedian. Because the point of cinema is moving pictures. Airplane is a perfect example of a film that uses sight gags properly. Not only is there brilliant written comedy throughout, the dialogue is second to none as far as satirical comedies go. But one thing that they did perfectly is the visual sight gag, and there's plenty of it. And Austin Powers follows in the same tradition a good decade later with scenes like this. You don't need
Evacuation complete.
Not a word needs to be spoken in order. The thing that makes this joke work so
Evacuation complete.
forget it. Right from the start, the movie sets the tone perfectly with an incredible choreographed musical number using an old track from the great Quincy Jones called Soul Bossa Nova. Like the rest of the movie, much of this opening sequence was parodying 1960s British comedies, most particularly Hard Day's Night, starring the Beatles. There's a couple moments that are practically shot for shot, but the more obvious parody is James Bond.
I also like to live dangerously.
As you wish, sir. 20 beats your 5.
However, despite the title of the film, personally, I don't think Austin Powers is the most iconic character in this movie.
Right.
Dr. Evil was a straight-up parody of Donald Pleasance from Halloween. It's a pretty close replica visually down to the scar. However, the attitude could not be any more different. As I mentioned, it was Dana Carvey's impression of Lorne Michaels that created the foundation for the character. This not-so-minor theft led to the dismantling of the friendship that we came to know and love from the Wayne's World series. Now, I do have it on good authority that the two have mended their relationship in recent years.
Would you have him on?
Of course.
You would. But wait a second.
We already did.
We've come full circle since I talked to you last. We've become very close friends. We had so much shared history together, riding the rocket of Wayne's World, and really the first time we had extra money, the first time we signed autographs. So there's too many firsts. The only good thing about getting old is you just sort of, you get a little more wisdom, you get a little more perspective, and you practice forgiveness.
Living in LA and experiencing Hollywood in the small ways that I have, I've had opportunities here and there to meet some pretty interesting people. One of those came a few years ago. It was 2018 or 2019. I had a meeting at Stupid Buddy Studios with a gentleman by the name of Seth Green.
Remember when we froze your semen?
Oh, sure.
Dr. Evil, I want you to meet your son.
My son?
Scott!
I'm your father, Dr. Evil.
I haven't seen you my whole life, and now you come back and just expect a relationship? I hate you.
I'm with it. I'm hip. Oh, well, don't look at me like I'm frickin' Frankenstein. Give your father a hug. Hug.
Get away from me, you lazy-eyed psycho!
I met Seth Green and his partner Matt Senerick, the two heads of Robot Chicken. For a slightly bizarre 20-minute conversation that none of the three of us really had any idea what the point of it was. I brought them some sketch ideas, which they were not able to take for legal purposes, and that was pretty much the end of that. I had a sneaking suspicion that the meeting was not going to go well the moment I arrived, and I spat out my gum in a plant, and then looked up and saw a security camera pointed down at me. But that's enough about me.
The details of my life are quite inconsequential.
There are several iconic scenes led by the great Dr. Evil in this film. And each of these scenes is filled with a series of jokes. The first that comes to mind is the scene where he's trying to catch up from the past. He's been frozen for 30 freaking years here, okay? The gag that he keeps coming up with different ideas that have already happened in the years since he's been frozen is pretty genius. It works as a perfect counterpoint to the issue that Austin Powers is going through, trying to get over the difference between the 60s and the 90s.
Jimi Hendrix, deceased, drugs. Mama Cass, deceased, ham sandwich.
Dr. Evil then tries to come up with a perfect number to hold the world ransom for, and he lands on
$1 million.
But my personal favorite Dr. Evil scene has to be the group therapy scene with a cameo by Carrie Fisher, aka Princess Leia.
My father was a relentlessly self-improving boulangerie owner from Belgium with low-grade narcolepsy and a penchant for buggery. He would make outrageous claims like he invented the question mark. The sort of general malaise that only the genius possess and the insane lament. At the age of 14, as a roastery named Vilma ritualistically shaved my testicles.
You know, we have to stop.
And the runner-up might have to be this.
You know, I have one simple request. Sharks with frickin' laser beams attached to their heads.
Another brilliant piece of Mike Myers' writing that's just got his name written all over it is a scene in the bathroom at the casino.
You didn't happen to see anything at all?
Howdy. Hey, partner. I'm a good one.
Okay. Who does number 2 work for?
That's right, buddy. You show that turd who's boss.
Jumping back to the early part of the movie, Austin Danger Powers is collecting his items, including
one Swedish-made penis enlarger.
This sort of thing ain't my bag, baby.
One book, Swedish-made penis enlarger pumps. This sort of thing is my bag, baby.
Elizabeth Hurley stuns as Vanessa Kensington, who obviously is gonna fall madly in love with this gentleman.
Ooh. Do I make you horny? Randy? Do I make you horny, baby? Yeah!
If you were the last man on Earth and I was the last woman on Earth, I still would not have sex with you.
What's your point, Vanessa?
And try her damnedest to turn him into a one-woman man. If the fembots don't get him first.
Hello, hello.
Hello, Mr. Powers.
Is it cold in here?
You can't resist us, Mr. Powers.
Au contraire, baby. I think you can't resist me. It's not what it seems. And then all of a sudden the fembots came by and smoke started to come out of the jumblies. We got cross-mogenations and the head started exploding. You know, that thing. I ended up in my knickers here and then...
The film wraps up beautifully with Johnny Rivers' masterpiece, Secret Agent Man.
I want chicken, I want liver. Meow mix, please deliver.
Not so fast.
It seems the tables have turned, Mr. Powers.
It seems the tables have turned again, Dr. Evil.
Not really. Kill the little bastard, see what I care.
I hate you. I hate you.
Oh, Scott, that hurts, Daddy, when you say that, honestly.
And after defeating Random Task, who I believe is a convicted criminal...
Oh, that really hurt. Who throws a shoe? Honestly.
As should be Dr. Evil's cycloptic colleague, wife killer, Robert Wagner. We get one final sequence to send us off. In Bob's Big Boy.
It's frickin' freezing in here, Mr. Bigglesworth.
If you'd like more videos like this, you can subscribe for more, and check out these 2 videos starring another comedy genius. Let me know in the comments below if you have any recommendations for future videos, and stay groovy, baby.